What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Between the Cons. My name is Chris, and with me today...
The ever culturally relevant... I can't do it.
the Outlaw Steve Jr.
I'm the Outlaw Steve Jr. Bang, 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 bang.
Ahoy! Ahoy! Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Ahoy!
On the horizon!
Avast, you mateys!
It looks like a land hoe.
I've got scurvy.
That sounds like a dance move. I've got scurvy. I don't know if you should announce that.
My bones
so
are withering
publicly.
away. Lack of vitamin C.
Anyways, Mr. Naughty List is also here.
Hey, guys.
So today's going to be a weird episode.
Yeah, sorry.
Mr. Naughty List, last minute, decided to crash at our casa instead of driving an hour home from doing a little network event.
Yeah, networking, unemployment. Whoop,
whoop.
Or Naughty List got divorced.
Oh,
he is Miss Naughty List now.
What?
What?
No, he said divorce, not sex changed.
Right, but when a Mr. gets divorced, he becomes a Miss. Isn't that how that
I
works?
don't think you take the female.
I can chime in here. I know. It's actually sexed change. Okay, sext is past tense there, and if you get divorced, you don't become a woman. You just already you always were a woman. That's kind of how.
Got it.
Well,
That makes sense.
I'm neither now nor ever was nor ever will be a woman still.
Well, thanks everybody for
happily
tuning in.
Did we just ostracize our LGBTQ
I think
audience?
we definitely
somehow?
got one of those 5-star reviews after that intro for sure.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Speaking of 5-star reviews,
leave one on the iTunes Store or Google Play or iHeartRadio.
Google Plus.
Or don't.
Do whatever you want to do. This is America, despite our leadership. Thanks to everybody for hitting us up on the internet this
triggered.
week. Thanks to everybody.
Not my podcast.
Thanks to everybody for hitting us up on the internet this week. This is going to be a long episode. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you don't follow us, follow us. Hang out with us on the internet. Before we get started, we do have a pineapple episode for you today. But before we get started, I just wanted to send some love to the West family. Adam West, the original Batman, died on June 9th at 88 years old. So, kind of sad. Kind of really sad.
It's very sad. My first reaction to it was totally honest and sincere, but I was just like, no, Batman, and I was really sad about it. I think I left it on a Between the Cons post, but it was really sad to me because you gotta think like I have this whole idea in my head of some days you can't get rid of a bomb, and that's how I live my life by that as like a compass a little bit. It's like if you're having a bad day or if something is bothering you, like some days you just can't get rid of it. And
that's a quote from the original Batman series.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as important if it wasn't delivered so importantly by Mr. Adam West.
Yeah,
as he run.
And for the record, Steven loves incredibly ambiguous movie quotes. Like some days you can't get rid of a bomb, and some things never change. Some things do. From The Matrix.
It's from The Matrix Reloaded. The
trilogy.
The best of the three, which is not probably true.
Or popular opinion.
Popular opinion.
But anyways, we've got a pineapple episode.
Eventually.
Mr. Naughty List is going to be chiming in as we go along. But yeah, let's jump right into it.
We're going to have a pineapple situation. What should I do? Pineapple. The word that cannot be spoken. Pineapple.
Just want to say pineapple. If
Pineapples are fun. My dad used to throw them at me.
Pineapple.
Seriously? Wow.
McFarlane Toys has announced that they will be releasing Stranger Things action figures And those are action figures that are based on the show Stranger Things.
Not just weird things that they decided to make action figures out of.
They already had
action figures of some strange things.
This is a shrubbery.
Here's a blender filled with mac and cheese.
This is a pine cone covered in Nutella.
They already had their Strange Things line come out when they did the Kiss Psycho Circus figurines. So. But kind of a little blurb about it. They're putting out 2 figures. One's going to be 11. One's going to be Chief Hopper. I already cleared out a little space on my shelf for Chief Hopper.
Of course you did.
I did. I'd show you, but this is all audio based.
Not a video podcast.
A video cast maybe, but they're going to be 7-inch figures, which is slightly above average.
For an action figure. And
they're gonna have
they're gonna have 12 points of articulation, which is kind of the
for an action figure.
Well, 7 points of articulation or 12 points of articulation for an action figure is relatively high. For the Todd McFarlane figures, it's their stock way of making figures. If you remember, like all the Spawn figures, they had 11, 12 points of articulation. I have several of them at the house.
Of the points of articulation or of the action figures?
The 7 inches.
Oh, okay. You have several 7 inches. Dane must be helping you out with that.
But the thing that kind of freaked me out about this, and I'm not like an alarmist by any means, but they said there's a great quote about it. They said that they were used by compiling assets of the show. It's like, you mean the people? Like, you mean the people in the show?
They just objectified.
Yeah, exactly.
11 and Chief Hopper. They're real people.
Like, you're objectifying in a double entendre, but not a sexual innuendo. There's an important distinction there. But you just made an object out of someone by objectifying them literally. So it's pretty...
But is this a direct object or an indirect object?
Well, it depends if you touch it or not. What are we talking about?
Grammar.
Pineapple.
It's a secondary object. Batman.
We've shared a bunch of stuff on Facebook and Instagram about E3 being this weekend. So I've got a little bit of news from E3. Sony has released is releasing a survival horror game.
Left 4 Dead?
Unfortunately not. Despite the teasing that we got in March, there's still no Left 4 Dead that we'll be seeing anytime soon.
Wait, survival horror, is that are they making a Five Nights at Freddy's RPG kind of
just an RPG?
Like a long form RPG. You get to choose your character, make your team.
That would be interesting. But no, it is a zombie game.
It's horrifying.
It's called I'd play it. It's called Days Gone. The in-house studio that made all the Siphon Filter games, as well as a handful of Vita games, the PS Vita, they're going to be bringing Days Gone, which is going to be really interesting because it's going to be an open world zombie game, which is also really interesting because we've seen a couple things like that, like Dying Light and the other one, what's it called? Dead Rising.
The one in the mall.
But nothing super open world, and this one's going to be a true open world. You play as Deacon St. John.
What a great name.
Which is a cool name. He is like in a motorcycle gang. He looks like Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
From Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, from Mortal Kombat and Sons of Anarchy. Same guy.
Metal arms, right?
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Motorcycle for legs. But really interesting thing in the game that they decided was like a huge selling point is in the world there are going to be all sorts of zombie infected things.
Zombies.
Yeah. So you'll have zombie people. There are also going to be zombie bears that you can
Zombears.
You can kill a zombear with your bare hands. One of the really cool things though that I found super interesting and immediately related it back to Left 4 Dead was you can use the hordes to your advantage. And I just thought about Left 4 Dead 2 with the bile canister, how like you could throw it at the tank or throw it at yourself and just get a bunch of kills. But you could throw it at the tank and the zombies would help you defeat the tank because they would go attack it.
Right.
So I don't really know what that means as far as using the hordes to your advantage. Hordes with a D. But it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it. It looks really neat. And honestly, Left 4 Dead is my favorite zombie game. Left 4 Dead 2 primarily because you can get the DLC for Left 4 Dead 1 on Left 4 Dead 2 and it looks better. So, but Left 4 Dead 2 is my favorite. I really liked Dying Light. It was like a Mirror's Edge zombie crossover, free-running, interesting game concept. I liked it. But those are really the only two that I really enjoyed. So I really hope that this game doesn't suck since we're not getting another Left 4 Dead because I like zombie games, but I just don't feel like we've gotten a lot of them. No comments out of the peanut gallery, so pineapple.
You brought that awkward silence on yourself. Edgar Wright has revealed that he has at least intentions for a Hot Fuzz sequel.
Okay.
Yeah. Go. Ooh. Ah. Yeah, exactly. As you all know, Edgar Wright is amazing. He has done the entire Cornetto trilogy, which is Shaun of the Dead, End of the World. What's it called? End of the World.
At World's End.
At World's End.
No,
That's
was Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, that was Pirates of the Caribbean.
World's End.
World's
the,
End.
Yes.
The World's End.
The World's End.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was the name of the bar.
Yes.
Everybody is a robot. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, was that a spoiler? Shoot.
It's the ice cream movies. He did all the ice cream movies.
Yeah, and Shaun of the Dead. So
We didn't see
he,
And Hot Fuzz.
yeah, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
You started
And-
with Shaun of the Dead. The list
Yeah,
was Shaun of the Dead, The World's End,
At
and
World's-
Shaun of the Dirt.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
It's the end of the world as robots
And I feel fine.
destroy us.
It's
Yeah.
the end.
Well, cult fans might remember Edgar Wright's film Shaun of the Dead. It's a short film follow-up to Shaun of the Dead, where everyone has a speech impediment that I am not making fun of.
It's just it's the Irma God or Irma Gerd gif or a meme.
Yeah,
It's the Irma Gerd girl.
Irma Gerd.
Yeah. It was kind of it was a concept of form. The entire script contained no vowels.
Except for E's.
Shaun of the Dead.
Followed by R's.
So he said that Hot Fuzz is basically the only one out of the Cornetto trilogy that he could make one out of. He said it would be, especially, this is kind of a quote, especially comedy sequels. Once the characters have finished an arc, it's difficult to bring them back. And do a new arc. Danny Butterman, who is played by Nick Frost in
Right.
Hot Fuzz, especially Nicholas Angel becomes less of an automation, becomes more human, and Nick Frost's character becomes less of a simpleton and more of a bad
Mamma
ass. Am I allowed to say bad boobs? Can I say that? But
It
he
just feels like a fat joke.
What's up, bad boobs? Hey, girl. Hey, man. Nick Frost got some bad boobs, man. But he was kind of keeping in mind, like, since this is coming up on a crazy year for, like, sequels, Top Gun 2, Blade Runner,
2049.
yeah, 2049. He wants to do that, and he thinks it'd be funny to do Hot Fuzz, or it'd be funniest to do Hot Fuzz, and
it's a great time in the world to do a comedy.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, and
Levity
it's
would
kind
be
of
nice.
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those times where if you're making a comedy, it's like an awful movie.
Yeah.
And if you're making an action film, it's basically like 35 minutes of jokes. There are no lines, just like, let's get a really smart comedy. back in the theaters, especially Edgar Wright.
Edgar
what else
Wright also did he did Ant-Man, right?
He started Ant-Man. He didn't finish it.
Yeah.
And he did Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yep.
Would it be Hot Fuzz with 2 2s instead of the Z's?
Probably.
I hope so. Oh, that's so good. Cole is currently networking for a job, so if you're hearing that creativity and you want him on your team,
he also owns that trademark that he just made up.
Yep.
So
TM #@ whatever it is, circle TM sign.
Go ahead and lock that URL down, listeners. It's gonna be worth a pretty penny.
And Batman.
Joel Schumacher speaks with Vice, is what the headline of this says. He was talking about his wonderful Batman movies. Batman Forever was awesome. Batman and Robin, it was Batman and Robin.
Bat nipples. Yep.
Bat nips and raw boobs.
the infamous bat nipples. Those bad boobs we were talking about just now.
Different kind of silicon.
Yeah. George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell also have bad boobs.
Fantastic.
Nick Frost.
And he just got a great quote. He says, "Look, guys, I apologize. I want to apologize to every fan that was disappointed because I think I owe them that. I think it's safe to say a little belated."
Yeah.
15 years later?
I'm glad that he's catching up that Batman and Robin was not very good because we've all known for a while.
When the only reason you watch a movie is to play the drinking game associated with that movie, it's not a good movie.
And it's not a good drinking game. You are tanked in 32 minutes, max.
But let's just say this really quick. The first little snippet of our Meet the Geek segue is Mr. Freeze saying, "Allow me to introduce myself."
Allow me to introduce myself.
It's great.
I just
allow me to introduce myself. My name is Humpty. Digital Underground? Come on, guys. Read a book of music about.
So Joel Schumacher's quote goes on to say,
he says, "I guess I'll say I hope no fans moved on from Batman upon first seeing my movie. I think one major
high
thing.
Hopes.
Yeah, two things. One, that's pretty high hopes, but also he thinks rather highly of the
travesty that was his movie.
The amount of people that probably watched that movie and was just like, man, this ruined an entire franchise for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
this ruined a character that's easily minimum twice my age.
But at the same time, the sociopathic thought that goes into that, he's carrying such a huge burden on his shoulders
so long.
He's just been carrying this around.
I just got to get this off my chest. I've been talking to my therapist.
The craziest part about it is George Clooney for years. Every time somebody's so Batman and Robin, he's immediately, no hesitation. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I can't believe I did that movie. It's no wonder they don't invite me to cons. Da 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 da. Val Kilmer gets invited to cons because he played Batman that one time, and George Clooney, who is one of the most talked about older, non-Christian Bale, Ben Affleck Batman.
I thought you were gonna say non-Christians. That's a weird turn that you just took.
At the Church of Christian Bale, we try to convert all non-Christian Bales.
Swear to me.
Are you okay? Hey, Batman, do you need a lozenge?
Batman. Hi, Batman. Powder Man. Batman.
So I'm bringing this up because I haven't gotten to talk about it yet, and I'm definitely the diehard fan of the Between the Cons family for Sense8 on Netflix. It totally got alphased. It totally got fireflied. and it got canceled. So there, yeah. If you didn't watch,
I know. I was
if you didn't watch Sense8, you need to watch it. If you didn't watch Alphas, you need to watch it. If you didn't watch Firefly, that's fine.
You just lost us so many listeners.
Well, it's like it's out of being like contextually relevant to what's happening on TV anymore. So it's like trying to go back and watch Twin Peaks for the first time right now and being like, yeah, I got to watch this. And then you get an episode in and you're like, I have no idea what the context for this show is. I can't put myself there. Firefly, it came at a time. But like, since those shows are so new, but I digress. So the Sense8 crew has, which are, you know, the actors, the wonderful cast that they have, and then also the executive producer, they've all kind of come out and said that it's not going to happen. There were petitions that were being signed. They sent several messages to Netflix, the unit, you know, the company, and the hashtags were trending, Renew Sense8 and Bring Back Sense8. But they said the reason we've taken so long to get back to you is because we've thought long and hard here at Netflix to try to make it work, but unfortunately we can't, which sounds like a cop-out. Thank you for watching and hope you'll stay close with your cluster around the world, which is kind of a backhand to the face. And then hashtag Sense8's forever, which is not the case.
Because it's canceled.
Dripping
Because
with irony.
Because it's canceled. But it's really sad for a lot of people. I know that as far as like, I think people who kind of identify with a lot of the characters on there were a few different LGBTQ characters. There were definitely characters that were like dealing with drugs and depression and stuff like that. It was kind of a stronghold for at least people I know personally here that were really like tuning in and like watching this happen and feeling like they were a part of a group of, or, you know, they could relate to that group, you know, the downtrodden, and we all have to band together and kind of work together to fight off the things that are holding us down. And
Sure.
it is sad to see it go, but I hope Netflix, you know, girds their loins a bit and tries something a little more daring instead of another season of the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah, like Alpha's season 3.
Oh, if you don't bring me an Alpha season 3, I want you to go to the horizon and I want you to bring me Alpha's season 3. But it ended the same way, and I'm not going to spoil it, but you remember the ending to Alpha's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Still
It was
just a sense of unresolved.
Yeah, it was a horrible,
life.
horrible moment because we basically, and spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen this show that came out years ago, but it was, you know, it was basically, we're like, oh, the only person left on Earth is this autistic kid, you know,
With
like,
the coolest powers on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, and one of the best demeanors. But it's kind of like one of those situations with Sense8. I don't want to ruin it because it's still fresh on Netflix. But if you haven't watched it, watch it. Maybe if we boost the numbers up or something, they'll at least make a hour-and-a-half wrap-up movie or something.
Yeah. They should do that for Alphas as well.
They should do it for every thing.
Everything.
Everything. If you cancel a show and you don't, and you're like, no, we're done, give us like an hour episode, like, and this is what happened to your people, you know, and then it's over, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mm.
I think it's a smart way to go, but I don't have any money, so not gonna make any episodes. And Batman.
So in 2013, there was this movie that came out. It was called Snowpiercer.
So good.
It was excellent. It
Hatchets.
flew under the radar, like, pretty surprisingly.
I watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, but it is on Netflix still. It had Chris Evans in it, Tilda Swinton, like, two pretty big names. And it was excellent. It's based on a French graphic novel called Le
Oh, I am so excited. Please keep going.
Pinage? Transpiercenage?
Sunneige. Transpiercenage.
That. That's what it's called, and it was by Jacques Loeb. And I actually didn't know that it was based on a graphic novel. I thought it was just a really great really great film that came out.
There's no original content.
Yeah, I know. I should have
It's
known
all-
better.
It's all gone. There's no more.
But it was really excellent. It was a really great flick. You should check it out on Netflix if you haven't seen it. But there's a new series coming to TNT, #DumpsterFire.
No.
And it's going to be based on Snowpiercer, and it is set 7 years after the movie. For those of you that haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but that's a really interesting choice because things. Scott Derrickson, who directed Doctor Strange, is going to be helming the pilot. So there is some hope. On top of that, Daveed Diggs, who was in Hamilton, and Jennifer Connelly, who was in The Rocketeer, and that's all I care about. She also won...
She was naked in like so many movies. None of which are The Rocketeer.
Yeah.
So.
She was also in Requiem for a Dream. You feel better?
Oh, no. No, I don't. Now, I think I feel worse. I feel worse now.
She is, I think, an Academy Award winner or an Oscar winner. One of the two. But she is an award-winning actress. She is going to be one of the main characters in the show as well. So it does have hope. It's got some good names tied to it, with the major exception of TNT. I cannot tell you the last good thing I saw come out of that channel.
Friends reruns.
Aren't those on ABC Family? Oh, excuse me, Freeform.
That's TBS. I think,
TBS.
actually.
Oh, okay.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, but yeah, TNT's picking it up. Don't really have a lot of information about it. It's still in the very early stages. No release date or anything like that on the pilot. I think the pilot's just been ordered. I don't even know where that all stands. But I felt like it was an interesting thing to bring up. See what everybody thought about.
Great movies that have become TV shows. Go.
Wait, great movies that have become great TV shows?
No, that have become TV shows, because there are no great movies that have become great TV shows.
Lethal Weapon.
Training
Day? Training Day was excellent.
The TV show Training Day?
No. Are we talking about good movies that became TV shows, or
No.
good movies that became good TV shows?
Good TV shows that came out of good movies do not exist.
Oh, no, they don't. I misunderstood the question.
What was the one where the guy took like DMT or something and he got real smart?
Limitless?
What was that?
Oh,
yeah, Limitless.
That show was awesome.
The show was fine, but it was based on a really awful movie.
Yes, but the show was excellent.
And then
it got canned.
Timeline's like both and. I mean, no offense, the book's great, but the movie's only good if you read the book, and then the TV show's only good if you like the movie.
Wait, there was a Timeline TV show?
Was there not? I thought it did like a season and a half, I thought.
What?
I don't know about that.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was a sci-fi thing. I can double check that.
It was on Sci-Fi? Yeah, I gave up on Sci-Fi after Alpha season 2.
Oh,
when they replaced it with that one show that got canceled after its second season because it was worse. It was such a bad show.
The Magicians was good on Sci-Fi.
No, they had what was it? The show about the planet. I watched the entire first season because I was like,
like Revolution.
No, that was on Fox. You mean, did you just say the show about the planet? What?
Yeah.
That is every TV show that has people in
it. He's gonna Google the sci-fi show that's about the planet
that replaced Alphas. But I watched the entire first season because they replaced Alphas for the show, and I was like, okay, if they're canning Alphas for this show, it has to be excellent. And it was garbage water. It was a terrible show.
Oh, you want a Long Island iced tea? Sure thing, garbage person.
Sure thing, garbage person. What is that from?
It's from a College Humor video.
Oh, yeah. It's if bartenders were honest or something like that.
Yeah.
Sure thing, garbage person. Anyways,
Can
I'll find this later.
Yeah, let's check back with you, Batman. Well, guys, Cole has something to say.
Chris hid the notes. I couldn't see. I was pointing at the screen.
Hold on, wait.
So we've got some new ambiguous
News?
news about John Wick Chapter 3. So we've been told some things about some stuff about this movie that
is true.
that is we've been told we're gonna get some stuff about the High Table and some stuff about his origin and some stuff about probably some guns and some dead
I'm
people.
looking at the direct quote. We are going to put in something about the High Table, how that all works. You know,
That all works. In
Nah,
quotes.
man.
He's saying it in quotes like that.
Defiance. That was
Hold
the
on.
name of the show.
Hold on, wait. This is how this quote needs to be read. We're gonna put in something about the High Table, like how that all works, and
You know,
we're
just,
gonna put in something about where John comes from and where he wants to go. You know, and I don't want to say too much more, but it'll be a nice completion to Mr. Wick's journey. There are a lot of ideas being thrown around right now.
It's gonna be huge.
A lot of people working on it. I don't know if they locked in a consensus yet. It's gonna be huge. They have some very good people working on it, and then they just trumped it, guys. They just
In
they're
the not spades kind of way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Got
They
it.
just did the DT. You know.
So, but the real question is there going to be a new dog, or is it going to be the same dog from 2?
But the second half of that quote is about, wait for it, the John Wick prequel TV series that is being developed by Lionsgate.
If it's not on an extended cable channel, people are gonna get pissed. That show,
exactly, man.
that movie has
It's like
so much action,
Well, he has
like
to kill everybody.
violence.
So much
gore,
blood.
and like if you're not if you're making a TV show right now and you're putting it on like USA, you know, and Burn Notice or whatever, it's like you're ruining your TV show. I don't.
Burn Notice station.
There are like 2 cable channels that are killing it.
AMC
One-
and CW.
Oh, I was gonna say Adult
Netflix.
Swim, Cartoon Network. Because Adult Swim, they just brought back Samurai Jack. They got Rick and
Yes.
Morty lined
Yes.
up. They got a bunch of. I mean, their ratings are through the roof right now. I read a ratings report like 6 months ago, so I'm a
He's up to
expert.
date. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm expert now.
So be on the lookout for more ambiguous details
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
movie. Just know that John's going to shoot people,
Probably.
probably,
Yeah,
and then probably kill somebody with like a household item.
Maybe.
And it'll be awesome. And he'll take a beating and still be able to walk.
Potentially.
And there's probably going to be like a really bad line at the end. Like,
Allegedly.
they're going to come for you. And it's like, well, you tell them that if they come for me, I'm going to kill them all.
Perhaps.
Trepidatiously.
Yeah.
Wait,
with some ambiguity. I might kill them or I
Yeah.
don't know.
So kids, hold on to your fidget spinners or cubes or whatever, and get ready for the TV show that will ruin what was once one good movie. It's The Matrix again. That's all that's happening. I know.
John Wick Chapter 2 is awesome.
Yes.
John Wick is The Matrix with no Matrix.
Batman.
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 So Konami is finally getting some good press.
Yay.
If you guys remember, Konami had a terrible time in the news after being the worst to Hideo Kojima, and then they just decided one day, you know what, we're not going to make video games for a while because we're going to make these Japanese gambling stations instead. So the gaming community,
Sure. Pivot.
yeah, ripped to them a new one to say the least. But they at E3 this weekend in a couple panels, they got asked a bunch of questions, and one of the questions was, "What about Castlevania?" Hashtag am I right? Castlevania, for those of you that don't know,
Is a game.
is a game.
In a castle.
Yep.
In probably Eastern Europe.
Yep. Just context clues like crazy over here. This is the English.
I'm painting the picture.
The English major over here. You're putting that degree to work.
I like probably in Eastern Europe.
Vania. It's got to be Eastern Europe. Anyways, it's getting an animated series on Netflix, and I think riding on the tails of that, Konami has announced that they're interested in releasing a Castlevania game on the Switch. They've made no commitment. They're just, yeah. I mean, if the show does well, we'll rake some of that in too. I guess.
Like that flaky friend that's like, yeah, I'll show up if so and so and so and so and so and so's there. Then they don't ever.
Yeah,
show
it's
up.
like our high school reunion, Jason. Mr. Naughty, let's just put his head down laughing.
'Cause I'm probably the only person listening to this that knows what that means.
But Konami has, I mean, they have released some games on the Switch.
Wait, is Jen listening? Is Jen listening right now? Hey, Jen.
Facebook Jen?
Hey. Yeah, Facebook Jen.
What up, Facebook Jen?
We love you, Jen. You're getting a whole shout out right now.
You like all of our posts.
You like all of the Wonder Twins posts, and if you don't start dating one of them, we're going to start messaging you back.
All of us. We will all start taking turns.
Spam
messaging you to pick a twin and date them. The best part about this is that I know that the Copelands listen to every episode. So they're going to get this, and then I'm going to get a text message.
Oh, no.
Jen, if you have a twin sister...
Golden.
You guys are set.
It's a sitcom waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man, it
speaking
would
of
be so
Konami.
cute. To this, I'd like to dedicate this entire bottle of alcohol that I've been drinking.
Is it Love It? What would the name of the sitcom be? Love It First Sight?
No, it would be
Double Vision.
Oh. No.
Yo, Double Vision would be so cute. I was thinking Twin Towers, but then I thought that sounded like a...
Anyways, so Konami, they have released Super Bomberman R for the Switch, but that's the only game that they've released on the Switch. And to be such a big name in gaming, especially on Nintendo console, to not have a lot going on other than Japanese gambling stations, that's kind of interesting. So hopefully they'll actually release a Castlevania game. I know that there are a lot of people, especially in their later 20s, early later 30s. I mean, pretty much any 30s and later 20s would appreciate a Castlevania game, having played those on the old school Nintendo and SNES.
The hardest games of all time.
Yeah.
Except for Back to the Future NES
or Star Wars Game Boy.
Oh man, what was up with that game?
It was impossible. That's what was up with it. But anyways, Pineapple.
So if you haven't seen the trailer for this, we're gonna make you. It's called Brigsby Bear.
It is
and
nightmare fuel.
It is amazing. It's so amazing. I've read a bunch of reviews about the film because it played at Sundance, and they said it's a wonderful film about like imagination and fandom and creativity and the art of film itself, and it sounds really awesome. It's the story of a man named James, who's played by Kyle Mooney of Saturday Night Live fame. Now he was a YouTube sensation, and now he's SNL. And then also Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might know him. He got in a car accident in the 80s. That's really the only thing he's done, I think. I don't know much about Mark Hamill.
That is so not true.
I think that was it's pretty much it, right? He got in a car wreck, and he hasn't really done anything acting before, right?
No, I think you're talking about Tracy Morgan.
No, you're wrong. I'm talking about Mark Hamill.
Okay.
He said acting, so he can't mean Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, I can't mean Tracy.
Burn. We know how Cole feels about Tracy Morgan now.
Yep. So Mark Hamill really hasn't done much. Anyway, he's in this new movie.
Well, he's in the Kingsman.
Wait, are you talking about Paul Walker?
Yeah, Paul Walker. He was
He was in a car wreck and he hasn't really done much acting since.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts.
I think that's crossing a line, Chris.
He's alienated the rest of our listeners.
And that line is the finish line.
Won the race.
Fate of the Furious, you know what I mean?
Paul Walker crashed and couldn't
Fate.
cuss.
Hashtag F8.
Why are you doing this to me? Anyway, Brigsby Bear is based around a television show. You know what? I quit this podcast. I'm just kidding. Brigsby Bear. The movie is centered around the idea of Brigsby Bear Adventures, which is a children's TV show produced only for James. I just want to see this movie because everything it says, I'm like, what? Like, there's only one guy?
It's like, what was the Robin Williams movie? Death of Smoochie?
Yeah. No, that movie is amazing.
But that's what this whole thing reminds me of.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. But the movie also stars Greg Kinnear and Claire Danes. Claire Danes was in Homeland. She was also in Romeo plus Juliet. She played Juliet.
No, are you sure?
Claire Danes?
I think she was.
Are
you?
You mean, am I sure that she played Juliet and not Romeo? I will kill you. She could have played any.
No, she was Mercutio.
She could have played any of the hosts of important Shakespearean women characters. It most certainly was John Leguizamo.
No. Mercutio.
Oh, that was Tybalt. Mercutio was John Perrineau.
Yes.
No, his name's Henry Perrineau. He's from
Perrineau.
Lost.
Yeah. I was like, no.
And then Michaela Williams, who's from Casual and Enough Said. And it was written by Kevin Costello and Kyle Mooney, which makes me super excited because Kyle Mooney is a really funny writer. So make sure you go see it and make sure you don't say anything weird or disparaging about Paul Walker on your podcast at home.
Listeners.
Because if you did, you might sound like a giant jerk. Big gingery jerk with a stupid face.
Pineapple.
So Alan Cumming, for those of you that don't know, was offered the role of Doctor Who before Tennant, after Eccleston. I always want to say
Eccleston.
I always want to say Eccleston, but I don't think he's Jewish.
He is definitely not. He is definitely
Eccleston.
not that.
What's the deal with Doctor Who?
What's up with that?
But he was approached again to be the 13th Doctor, and turned it down again.
Alan Cumming. Let's just take a step back. Alan Cumming was the guy that played Nightcrawler in X2, X-Men United. He also played the bad guy from Spy Kids, the first one, the Toy Master or whatever. That reference doesn't go over as well as the first one. I found out before the show.
It doesn't go over much at all.
Yeah.
He was Boris. He was Boris from GoldenEye.
Yeah, he was Boris Karloff.
Yeah. So what we're explaining is the very strong resume that he has of solid.
He was the Bog
choices.
King in Strange Magic.
Now, this will be important to me because I live in Alabama. and it'll be important to you guys because you used to live here. He plays a character called Eli Gold on a show called The Good Wife.
Gross.
So
Yeah,
he's
he
pretty
does.
much the only
Well,
acceptable
isn't
gay.
Jean Grey the main character in that?
Yeah. Where's Dane when you need him? He worships that woman, Femke Jensen.
No, that's not it. She just looks like her. Holy crap.
Yeah,
What is her
different
name?
lady.
Juliana Margulies? I don't know. Where's Dane when you need him to help pronounce stuff and know people's names? But anyways, Alan Cumming.
He
hates-
turned,
But yeah.
he's turned down the role of the Doctor twice.
For the dumbest reason.
He
No,
didn't
it's
want to
not.
live in Cardiff.
He didn't want to live in Cardiff for 8 months, which is where Doctor Who shoots.
That's not true. He didn't want to be Doctor Who because it's boring.
He said,
That's what
I
he
would
did.
do anything.
Because it's beneath him.
He said he went on record saying, I will do anything for Doctor Who, but I won't do that.
I would do anything for who.
He's Meatloaf, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
I just remember him as the band manager from Josie and the Pussycats, and it's him and Parker Posey is like the opposing character, and he like lets his gut out, like and it like breaks all the buttons on his shirt, and it's just like an undershirt. He's like, I've been holding that in for 15 years or something like that, and it's really funny. It's got long, really gross hair, kind of like Chris has. He's got really long,
He was
gross.
Encourage the
Yeah.
Cowardly Dog?
Yeah, he was rumpled kilt skin.
Oh, I remember that one.
And his name was Fegan Floop in Spy Kids. Just in case anybody wanted to know that.
Well, so apparently he doesn't want to, like, have a successful career or play a lovable character. We're going to leave it at that, Pineapple.
Except for all the ones he's played.
I said lovable character.
Yeah, that's fair. That's it for the show.
I have one more.
Pineapple?
Can I do it? Yeah,
No.
I made an extra one. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
And James Gunn hinted at a new Guardians character for Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. He posted a picture to his Instagram of his old VCR, and it's wood paneling, which sounds weird to do. But the tape cassette in the picture.
Cassette tape.
Cassette.
The tape cassette. Just because now you listen to me. Now it is labeled Quasar.
Oh.
Yeah. So even though Quasar has belonged to several characters like Phi Lavelle, Avril Kincaid, Wendell Vaughn, Richard Rider, we are probably getting Quasar, who his power or her power, it's their power, is channeling energy from the quantum zone. So that's something to look forward to. If you hated Ego from the most recent Guardians, maybe you'll like Quasar. Pineapple Batman.
Pineapple Batman.
Bad Apple Pine Man.
Chris Pine?
Man Apple. Man Pine Bad Apple.
Anyways, that's it for the show. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. If you want to sponsor the show, check out Patreon, Amazon, Satchel. And check out our website, betweenthecons.com. You can stream our episodes online. You can link out to all our social media sites. If you like our theme music, check out Affixa on Bandcamp. And then finally, make sure you guys tune in on Monday because we're going to be back and we're going to be reviewing Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle.
The Golden Circle.
And I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a good, ridiculous time. Hopefully.
It's going to be a something.
It better be, now that Colin Firth is still sexy.
Still sexy, and he knows it.
What were you guys talking about?
Well, you guys have a great weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.
I'm gonna follow Alan Cumming.